Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. I just got up, it's 8:20 and I thought before I have breakfast I feel like recording a video. And today's video is inspired by these flower sequins I admittedly bought weeks ago at the range. They're this turquoise colour and they're all little flowers. I try not to buy too many sequins because I've got tons, but I don't have any flower shaped ones in my stash. So I thought I'd go back to basics and do something that I haven't done in a while, which is create a shaker card with butterflies. I have gone ahead and I've taken all my butterfly dies out, and I've chosen 3 that are a similar size. This is going to be a 5x7 card, and I like to make shaker cards with fun foam, you know, the kids fun foam. I've got this in white. I'm going to link to the pack below if I'm sure I bought them on Amazon. And I've just cut this down to just under 7 inches, and then I just half the sheet to have 2 layers. I find if you use sticky tape sponge pads, they are usually quite sticky on the edges, and then the sequins can stick to that. With these sheets here, you don't have that problem, and I'll show you how to adhere these. The other thing I got out is something I've only ever used once, although I've had it in my craft room for years. I bought this press and seal when I first got into card making because I saw Jennifer Maguire use it. It wasn't even cheap. I've hardly ever used it. But what it is, it's actually used for the kitchen. It's like a film, and it is a low-tack film. So whatever you stick on it, it hopefully stays there. When I took it out, it didn't even feel that sticky. So I hope this will work, because the idea is to have these butterflies stick in the same place until I've cut the 2 sheets of fun foam and the cardstock to go with it. And I'm starting with the fun foam, so I've already aligned these. I actually put them on the craft foam. I put this on top and then I picked them up, but I did this off camera just to make sure this will actually stick. So I can put this back on here. If you wanted to, you could use a bigger panel and do the butterflies all over. I would just like to do these on one side of the card and have the other side for the sentiment. So I'm just putting this through my die cutting machine. When you cut fun foam, make sure you you only put it through once. You never put it through twice because the shape can distort them. So hopefully this has cut through. I'm not bothered about the details, I only want the outline. So let me first see if I can peel this off and make sure the butterflies stick on here. As always, I'm just doing this all on camera so you can see what doesn't go wrong. Tell you what the tricky thing will be. Now I'll have to take it off because I'll have to poke all the details out to cut it again. So let me peel this off. Curious to see if I can reuse that again as well. So that's what I wanted. Take the whole thing out. So much easier anyway. If you wanted to, you could reuse these. I won't use them, so they can go in the bin. So I think what I do is I just pop these in here again. And see if I can pick them up. If I might need a fresh piece of this. Oh yeah, that works. So that's why I put it upside down. I leave the heavy dies at the bottom and then can peel this off. So now I need to place this on here, ideally at a similar height. I could have left it a bit longer and cut it down afterwards just in case. Then again, it doesn't really matter behind the panel because it will be slightly hidden. So now you've seen me cut this, I will cut this again, and then I will also take my card panel 5x7 and we'll cut this from this as well. Before I cut the butterflies out of my card panel, I actually make sure by placing this on the top that the foam's not too close to the edge. I mean, I could cut it down, but I don't want to get too close. So I can see now that I need to move this up just a little bit, and I think later I will straighten this off a little bit as well. But I think this is in a good position, so I can press it down now. Okay, at least keep the finger on there and press it down like this. Okay, the other thing I will quickly do off camera is I thought it would be nice to have this panel embossed. So after I've die cut it, I will choose an embossing folder and put it through that. I will quickly mist the paper with my water bottle, really just a mist, not to get too wet. And then, yeah, as I said, put it through an embossing folder to just get a bit of interest on the outside. So I changed my mind about the embossing folder for the pure reason I didn't realise how few embossing folders I have that are actually this size. Most of mine are smaller. So I ditched the idea because I didn't like the ones I had in the bigger size. Never mind, I'll keep it clean and simple with this one. So all we need to do now is to glue the foam on the back here. As I said before, I need to trim this down a little bit neater. Scissors are actually a bit sticky. That's better. So, and I'm just using my magic glue as usual. The important thing is that I grab all those details at the top there and go round everywhere here. Get enough glue on these areas. So this really can't be rushed. You want to catch everywhere because you don't want the sequins to be stuck underneath. So I'm trying to get as close without the glue oozing out. Tell you what, I forgot. Need a piece of acetate first. Oh panic, oh panic. I hope this doesn't glue too quickly. Sorry, dry too quickly. I'm just switching the camera off and get some acetate. So I've very quickly cut my acetate. In hindsight, because I've forgotten this, I should have probably done this with a different glue. This shows how long it's been since I've done a shaker card that I completely forgot about the acetate. Silly me, never mind. It's probably too early for my brain. So I'm just pressing the glue down here now. It does ooze out a little bit, so I have to do a bit of tidying in a moment. So if I turn this way around, I can use my silicone tool here and just scrape that off before it dries. So it does seem to stick, so I'm happy with that. So whilst that is drying, I'll quickly show you what acetate this is. This is Sticks to Anything Clear Project Acetate. It's quite a thin one. You can use acetate from packaging. I've used, you know, these bags that you can get to put your cards in once you've finished them. I get those from the works. Anything like that is possible. So now all I need to do is stick these on the back. So I'm sticking this one down and then this one on top. Again, I probably have to cut that a little bit straighter. I quickly do this off camera again. So I've stuck these two panels down, making sure they are properly aligned. I've got a bit of discrepancy at the bottom here, but it doesn't matter. So I quickly will cut off this excess of acetate, and then I will put two more panels of fun foam here and possibly a little bit of a strip here as well to neaten the edges, just in case the recipient looks in from the side. And then I will leave this to dry and to sit. I've learned from the past, if I'm too hasty, this will shift, especially as I'm not sure about this glue, but I think it'll be fine. I haven't even read the small print, but yeah, it says for all kinds of artistic work, so I hope it's not just for, it says bookbindery glue, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed it's fine. Ideally, I would have used the Collall glue, but it doesn't matter now. So as I said, I quickly do this off camera and then I come back in about 20 minutes. So the glue is holding all right, I think, and I have put the panel here, a small panel there, and I've already had a look in my stash what I would like to use for the background. I find it easier to stick this down here and then put it onto the card base than trying to fill this up and juggling the card base on the top and hoping that it is straight afterwards. I'm going to go for this one here. This is just an ink smooshed background because that works best with the sequins. I was also looking at something like this I created ages ago, or this is like a faint mica watercolor. I think it's even a gel print, but anything is fine really. I wouldn't choose anything too busy because that would just compete with the sequins. So all I need to do now is to fill sequins into these butterflies. I don't want too many. Making sure this is even because I'm not sure how many will actually move in between those two wings. Oops, that one jumped. Same here, because I don't think they will pass between the two wings. And obviously they won't go into these small areas there, but that's okay. A few more here. I hope you can't hear my tummy rumbling. It's definitely time for breakfast. So I'm now cutting this into pieces so that I definitely want the speckled bit, so that I can cover two butterflies from this, hopefully. Cutting this in half, so that will cover that one. That will cover that one, and then I just need to cut one more. It's wide enough. Yeah, that'll be fine. So again, I'm doing this off camera. The other thing I have already done is the butterflies are cut out of the cardstock card panel. I've just cleaned them up, poked all the things through, and I'm going to just ink these up just with my ink blending brushes in Blue Atoll, that's the Elements ink, and maybe a bit of the patina, what's it called, Selvage patina, of the Distress Oxides. So just to give them some interest. I don't think I need to show you the process, so I will do this off camera as well. and I think I will quickly have breakfast. So my front panel has dried properly. Never be tempted after you've stuck these down to turn it over straight away, because I've had that in the past, and because the glue is still wet and the sequins will then fall onto the glue, they will stick. Mine are a bit static. Because I rushed it, I forgot to use the anti-static powder tool, but it doesn't matter. In transit, they will come off. And I've got a good fill there. I don't know if it shows against the light. So the bottom of the butterflies is filled, but obviously I've got enough space to shake these around. So I'm really happy with that. I've also, as I said, have ink blended on these butterflies. I've used the Elements Blue Atoll and the Distress Oxide, yeah, Salvage Patina. Did the darker one at the bottom and the lighter one on the top, and I really like these. And my idea was just to arrange these here on this side, keep it sort of clean and simple, maybe not use this one and just have a sentiment here. But because I use the wet glue, I have got some lumps and bumps because I didn't press this down properly, which is difficult anyway with the foam. So I was thinking I need to put something there. So I'm just showing you options. Obviously, you could fill the card with the butterflies there. That would look nice as well. But that's too busy for me. And I really would like these on this side. So I thought I could use some of my foliage dye like this. I'm sure that's a dandelion, and fill this a little bit, but just cut this out in white, and just to give sort of some texture, the texture I originally wanted to create with my embossing folder, but what obviously didn't work. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the Welsh Happy Birthday, and I'm just using the scrap I've got from the background here, and I'm going to stamp on that tone in tone so that can sit somewhere there. I probably have a longer strip coming in from the edges. I might even find a die that I can cut this with just to have it a bit neater. So I will quickly off camera cut possibly 2 of these. I've got second thoughts whether I want a different foliage die. I might do that, but I'll then show you how we glue these down. Yes, I have changed my mind. I went for this slimmer die. I think this is so much nicer. It almost looks a bit like lavender, and I know that butterflies like lavender. But when I die cut these from the scraps, that gave me another idea to use this as a stencil on the front of the card as well. So I thought I could place this down here, and just checking the height of it, I'm going to put a strip of low-tack tape on this side because I don't want to go over the edge there, and I'm just coming in with my ink blending brushes. I'm not filling them in again, so this is the patina. Just trying to, sorry, let's pop that on the top here so I don't go over there. And then I'm bringing the other brush in. That should have some residue of the Blue Atoll. Don't need to go to the very bottom. So when I take this off, and I can actually do this like a hinge because I've stuck this down, I've got this in the background, and I think I'll do one more, a bit lower. Again, covering the top a little bit. This will be much fainter because I don't have much ink left on the brush. Oops, it's a bit too low. I might have to ink it up again. No, it's fine. Just going around in circular motions, and I'm fading it out. I don't think I want the harsh end at the bottom there. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So if I place these down now, these will create a lovely backdrop to these plants. Probably put these a little bit higher, just like that. and then I can have the sentiment at the bottom here. I'll figure it out in a moment, I think. I just want to show you another little trick. Rather than die cutting this piece and then stamping on it and finding you haven't stamped in the right place, I like to stamp first on the bigger piece and then align the die. So I can easily check now out that this is straight. I've got even side on both sides. If I want that, you might want to have it, I might actually do that. I could have it closer to that edge and align it on the edge of the card and cut it down if I need to. I think I'll do that. So I think I die cut this first before I figure out how I'm going to align these, because that gives me an idea what I have covered at the bottom. I have zoomed it a little bit for you so you can see what I'm doing now. So I've placed this down. I know this is where I want the sentiment, and this gives me an idea now where I want these die cuts to be, whether I want to have anything at the bottom, and I think I need a little bit, otherwise this bit is on its own. So if I place it down like this, I think that would be nice. I don't want to have too much dimension to this sentiment strip, so I'm actually contemplating cutting these off, and I'm taking my pencil and just placing them against the sentiment strip. I might even move this one up a little bit higher, just like that. So oops, now I'm cutting it there, just moving this one up so it's easier to cut. So I'm cutting that there. That one, I could even move this out, it doesn't matter because I'm cutting it off anyway. I might just cut it off there. So what I will do then is I'm going to place this down flat. I'm just gluing it on. I'll do this off camera in a moment. Cut these off and place them against the sentiment. And the other thing I will quickly do off camera is for these butterflies, just choosing which ones I want, because I don't want the ones I have got the die cut for, I don't want these next to them actually. This one needs to be a bit placed on the edge anyway, so possibly there. So probably have to ditch the middle one and put this one there. I might end up with this one. So what I want to do with these is I'm just taking my dotting tool or my scoring tool. Yeah, I'm just looking for a wider scoring tool. I just want to score these. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. On either side of the middle. This one's actually a tricky one. I think I'll dismiss this one. So I want to keep the middle body and just score on either side so that I can fold the wings up a little bit and have the body sticking down. Don't know how well the camera picks up. This one's even easier to see where I need to score, and the scoring just helps to bend it, makes the paper a bit weaker at those points, and then this is really easy to fold. I just want this a little bit, so when I glue these down I only put glue in the middle, and as always I'm using my two-way zig glue. Where is it? There we go. To glue these down. The same with these intricate die cuts. For this one I will just use the magic glue again. My card is finished now. I took the time whilst it was drying to tidy up. I try to do that now, although I sometimes struggle and then I leave it and then it takes days for me to put things away. I am contemplating whether this is now a bit too busy, but I'm sure the recipient will like it. I do like this subtle colour scheme there with the selvage patina and the blue atoll. I've got this butterfly left, but I thought I can easily pop that on the inside here or onto the envelope. And I've stuck this down on a 5x7 card base, which I just cut from a piece 10x7, and then I scored it at 5. The shopboard cards I sometimes find are a bit too small. I just realised it still needs to dry just a little bit more, So take your time with that. Could even put a bit of weight on here. It's because of the foam that takes a little bit longer, so I think I will weight it down a little bit later. But yeah, I think this is nice. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the sentiment, I stamped that in the VersaFine Clair Warm Breeze, which is a colour that goes nicely with the Blue Atoll. Yeah, and if you like this card too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.